phone is switching numbers.
What's up? Happy Tuesday, Lucky Lefty Podcast. You know what time it is, man. The Onora boys are in the building. Notre Dame, according to reports, they have their guy. They have the new offensive line coach. But before we get to that, this dude right here, it's a very special day. It's the day his pops held him up like Mufasa held Simba up. Happy birthday, Left. My fault. You're on mute. You were on mute, bro.
I'm not on mute. I'm on. My mic's working now. Can you
Oh,
not hear
okay.
me? I can hear you.
Yes. Happy birthday, Left.
Can you hear? Okay.
So before we get started,
28 on the 28th.
28th on the 28th. You have to do something special. You gotta do something special today, bro. All I ask is that you're able to do to show the
There's
show.
a nice.
As long as you're able to do the show tomorrow, I'm cool.
I think it's a lag.
It might be. It
That's
might
the
be.
key. That's the key.
So thank you to everyone. We launched our first city podcast on the Lucky Lefty Network. LL Chicago is our first city. We're going to be building shows around Chicago sports and eventually moving on to other cities around the country. LL Chicago, we started it off with Kenneth Davis, the Under the Center podcast on NBC Sports Chicago, and Shaun Sierra, Superback, former college player at Dartmouth, former NFL player. He joined us as well to talk about Ryan Poles, Justin Fields, the number one pick, what they're going to do with it, free agency, so on and so forth. Great participation last night. The views, it's an unknown. People know us for Notre Dame. It was an unknown video, and people are really starting to tap into it and support it. And we thank you, LL Nation. Send us suggestions of other cities you would like to see Lucky Lefty Network pop off when it comes to talking sports, whether college or professional. We're looking to do that and expand the business and expand the network of Lucky Lefty Network and Lucky Lefty Podcast. So, Lef, how you going to? How do you look at your birthday? Let me tell you how I look at my birthday. Right, I really don't want anybody to do anything for me on my birthday. I want my birthday to be about what I want to do. Like, let me do what I want to do on my birthday. Everybody else can rock out on their birthday.
I think people get so caught up in them wanting to have fun with you with things that they want to do with you instead of what you want to do. I think sometimes people fail to appreciate guys that just want to just hang out, and it may not go to many places. Maybe just stay low key. I know that it's being Tuesday. I got stuff to do. So it's like, I'm excited about my birthday. I love my birthday, but I love not planning on my birthday. Let things happen how they happen. Some things may pop up. That always makes the experience a little more fun for me. So, I'm just excited to see 28 years old, man. It's getting up there, man. Definitely.
Hey, we have a question from Terry Tyler. Will Malik be on any future episodes of All American again?
So it's ironic. One of the the directors is a Notre Dame grad. So hopefully, I can get back on there pretty soon. Max and Devin, they Devin was just on one of the latest episodes. So shout out Devin Butler, man. He's looking good on there.
Yeah, it's funny. My daughter, I forget, one of the cast members had a birthday party this weekend in LA. And my
Mm.
daughter went because one of her friends is on All American Homecoming. So I guess both
Oh
cast, yeah.
snap!
So,
Okay,
so so both casts actually rocked together and like party together. So it was kind of cool. She said it was a cool vibe. She was like, "Yeah, it was cool vibe. Everybody was pretty nice."
yeah, they stay on the same like lot. So when you go, they got the All American lot, and then they got the Homecoming lot on the same thing. So they like see each other all the time. You'll eat lunch with them and stuff. It's pretty cool.
So once again, we are brought to you by Onora Whiskey at norawhiskey.com. That premium American whiskey at norawhiskey.com. Don't forget Apple Podcast, Spotify, CFB Nation, in conjunction with Irish Breakdown. All of our great content is absolutely fantastic. Leave us 5 stars. Leave your messages and your comments. We always respond to it. And we are proudly the home of the misguided passion. It's the Lucky Lefty podcast. You already
That's right.
know. We spin it different.
We,
So yesterday, news broke. I believe 247 and Tom Lloyd were the first to report that Joe Rudolph will more than likely be the next offensive line coach to succeed Harry Heastand at the University of Notre Dame. He is formally being interviewed today, but he actually released a farewell letter to Virginia Tech fans yesterday, which was weird because he hadn't had a formal interview yet. Virginia Tech head coach Brent
sound good.
Pry said some things, basically wishing him luck. And then his Wikipedia page listed him as the offensive line coach at Notre Dame around 1 o'clock yesterday. So it seems like everybody was on the same page except Notre Dame. Like Notre Dame wasn't ready to make it official, but everyone
Man,
else
they
is
have
pretty
Wikipedia.
much. So,
It's all bad.
Left, you are familiar with
I'm
Joe
actually a
Rudolph. Hmm.
huge fan of Joe Rudolph. He was recruited me at Wisconsin. A big reason why I wanted to go to Wisconsin because of Joe Rudolph and Paul Chris. I think that's a dynamic, awesome combo. Big fan of just who he is as a coach, as a person, as a recruiter. I think he knows enough to get the guys motivated to play for. He's a tough guy. Would have loved to play for him. Even on my both my first and second recruitments, I kept going back to Wisconsin because of those two guys. I even went to Pitt when they stopped at Pitt for a year and a half when they was over there. Definitely, if not the coaching staff at Notre Dame, I definitely would have been a Badger during that time.
You probably should have gone to the Badgers instead of down to Florida. In hindsight,
Yeah. In hindsight, of course, it would have made a lot of different decisions. But I think at the end of the day, what I did learn was that coaching staffs matter, those relationships matter, and I don't think that it's one of those situations where it's a really great hire, not so much to replace Harry Heastan, but to fill the role where we're not going to be taking a step back by taking on this new hire, Joe Rudolph. I think he's going to elevate these guys in a tough way. He's definitely the physical aspect of what Marcus Freeman is looking for, especially from his the trenches, the guys in the trenches. And on top of that, I think from a coaching staff that still has continuity on a recruiting standpoint, I think Coach Rudolph does a great job at recruiting and making guys feel uh, real comfortable. I mean, I remember when I went up to Wisconsin, my second recruitment, the first place I went with Coach Rudolph was the old lineman house. We went ate dinner with all the old linemen and his family. It was really dope.
What stands out about him as a head? I mean, as a coach, he's been a head coach. He's been an offensive coordinator. He's been an offensive line coach. What stands out about Joe Rudolph?
It's a huge comfort because you get the feeling that he knows what he's doing. He's a guy's a player's coach, a guy that you can really take a lot from, especially hard coaching. He's gonna keep it real with you. He's a real upfront guy and he knows his stuff. I mean, he's all about being tough, all about being competitive, and it's a good seriousness to him to where he's not just a snake oil salesman.
Hmm.
He's really in there uh, building relationships. I put him in the category a lot with a Tony Alford and the type of qualities that Coach Alford has is a lot that I get from Joe Rudolph. Those are two of my top five favoriteest coaches through my football career is Joe Rudolph, Tony Alford, He Stan, Matt LaFleur, and uh, my my junior high basketball coach.
Really?
Those are my top. Yeah, but Joe Rudolph and Tony Alford, man, those are two great recruiters. Joe Rudolph, especially, man, you just really believe in a coach like that, especially a guy that will have your back. So when I heard the news he was coming, I thought it was a perfect hire, a great fit, something that the O line is going to really take a lot from as well. So I don't think it's. I feel better about filling that position than I did the offensive coordinator. So it'll come together good.
This is the weird part. He's coming in for the formal interview, and they've done the Zooms. They've settled on particulars. One of the big parts of him coming to campus today will be him meeting with the players. And according to some sources, there was one interview in the process that a coach came in and came to campus and met with the players, and that meeting didn't go quite well. This is a new day, right? Because I understand maybe the coach meeting with leadership and certain players, and then the positional coach him meeting with the offensive lineman. But first of all, I don't know how you screw up meeting the players, right? Because what are you coming in like telling them, trying to be a hard A, trying to tell them what you're going to do is your world? It's like you're trying to ingratiate yourself to these young men. Like, who can mess up meeting the players? Like, you don't deserve it if you mess that up. That's the easy part. Showing how personable you are, showing the type of person you are. I mean, just be authentic. And the fact that there are reports that someone came in one of the coaching searches and just immediately failed when they met the players is actually kind of laughable. I'm glad it happened.
Are they saying that are there? That's a coach that's there right now, or a
No,
coach
no,
that
one of the
was
coaches
on
that
the
was being
interview
interviewed,
spectrum? Got
one
it.
of the coaches that came to campus
Wow.
to be interviewed for one of the coaching jobs, like failed when he met the players or it didn't go well, as they say.
See, that's kind of hard. Yeah, how does that happen?
Mm. Like I said, you come in trying to, assert yourself instead of just throwing out some icebreakers and making it a meet and greet, which is what it should be. That's pretty much it.
Yes. One thing that's interesting about football is that you get a really clear discernment for guys that are full of it and guys that you can really see you blending well with in the room. And I think that Notre Dame guys are and just the environment itself is hard to really fake anything. You got to pretty much be pretty genuine
Hmm.
through your experience through Notre Dame, just because it's too much going on to keep up with if you're not being authentic. It's just too much shit.
Yeah.
So and football does more so than I think a lot of different businesses, football is the few places or spaces where you can get figured out real quick. The results and winning are at such a premium that it can really hold or fold you. So you can't go in there not knowing what you're doing because you're not gonna
Mm,
last long. You
mm.
can only hold up the side so long before guys start being like, man, this man don't know what he's talking about. You just become Charlie Brown's teacher,
Yeah.
and I think Van Gorder experienced some of that. Once a couple losses happen, you don't start off as hot as you do. So some of them Van Gorderisms ain't hitting the same. You got guys looking at you sideways, like you don't know how but that's what happens in football. Different in business.
Yeah.
You can fake it till you make it in business, but you can't fake it till you make it in football
No. No.
because it's too hard. It's just too.
How close? Compare him to Harry Heastand. Are they similar? Are they different?
You definitely get an intensity. You get a very similar intensity that both guys really really care about winning and really care about guys doing their job. The difference is literally production. I think from a personality standpoint, he Stan and Van Gorder can be seen in a vacuum as the same type of character.
Mm,
Very fiery, very passionate, but the difference is Harry Heaston has produced a Ronnie Stanley,
mm,
a Q Nelson, a Mike McGlinchey, a Zach Martin, to where all that theatrics that you would assume that he's doing, you believe it. And so it's like, oh, what you do is cool for you, but not cool for me. So hey, Stan, cussing you out, going crazy, doing all the most. You're like, oh, I'm honored. Oh, thank you, Stan. Thank you. I understand. I got, I do to get better. You know, Van Gordon cuss you out, going crazy. This and that. It's like, man, who's this man talking to like this? I'm a grown man too. This and that. You know how that go. So it's it's literally based on results. That's why I think I love football so much. It's a result based business, and you and your craft is going to speak for itself. So you can only fake it for so long, but if you're not putting up numbers, naturally guys just don't believe you. And it's in recruiting too. I remember Justin Fields and his mom came to Florida when I was there, and he was looking at where to go, and we weren't organized right. We was going through transition at Florida, a lot of things going on, but you still got to recruit. You still got to try to garner, the right guys. And he came in there, and Justin Fields looked around. He just could tell that we wasn't shit at that time. No matter how much I was trying to blow it up for him and promote baseball and football aspect, he knew. He was like, man, y'all in the dumps right now. I ain't thinking about y'all. So that's what happens and it's about production, man. And so I really think that he Stan and Van Gorder are the same. But one got Hall of Famers in first round and $100 million contracts, and one may not have the amount of success. I mean, he got a Jalen Smith on his, but who knows?
It's interesting you say that because that has been the consensus from a lot of people that we talk to. My guy Evan Flood, that covers the Badgers for 247, someone that I've spoken to a lot over the last decade, and I literally have not found one person that can give me a bad thing to say about Joe Rudolph. It's almost
No, I
like
mean,
it's almost like he has been the most underrated, undercover,
yeah,
underground offensive line coach in the country, right?
because he's
And
so like he's so cool. Like he a cool coach. It's like you'll go in there and he's like, look, I'm not about all of that. He wouldn't
mhm,
tell you that.
mhm.
That's just the vibe you get. You walk in, he just sitting there with his leg crossed. He's like, come on in, man, cut the tape on, just start talking about whatever. And through the conversation, 80% of it is BS, and then there's 20% where he really teaching you something or telling you something, and then but you got to pay attention because he's smooth with it. He just, oh, you got to block this guy combo, then oh yeah, and then the lunch is crazy out here. I got to find a good sandwich. You know where to get a good sandwich from? That type of thing. But he'll in between the BS, he's dropping gems. I think that's what makes you so cool about it because you talking to him, you wouldn't think he cares about all this NIL and going to see. He like,
Yeah.
man, whatever. You my guy, you my guy. But then when he's not in recruitment mode, he's very serious about his job. So don't go in there thinking it's sweet, But he know how to turn it on and off kind of thing. So you can appreciate that.
Doma Wap says, evidently, he's not a great OC. Mertz was his downfall.
Mertz is not a great talent. They
Well,
probably as soon as Jack Cohn left, they was probably kicking themselves just to see Jack Cohn's numbers every week.
well, if Jack Cohn, honestly, with that situation, if Jack Cohn doesn't get injured, he's probably the quarterback. And when he got injured and really couldn't compete through the spring, and that was going into the COVID year too. So Mertz just
Kind of what?
he was given the position. He didn't fight for it. He didn't win it. Just the situation surrounding the program let him walk into the position, and he was terrible. That's the situation where I don't know if I would really place that on Rudolph or Paul
No,
Chris.
no,
It's
you
like
don't know it's gonna turn out like that.
just one of those situations, and then Jack Cohn just decided to dip, right
Yeah,
after that, because of the way things were handled. I would think the way things were handled, you could definitely lay at the feet of Joe Rudolph and Paul Chris. But
yes,
the way things with injuries and all of that stuff, that's football. Things happen. You know, difficult decisions have to be made to move on as a program and a staff, and it didn't work out. It didn't work out. I don't know what the heck the Florida staff sees in Graham Mertz. No clue. None. Dumbfounded.
dumbfounded for
I thought
real.
he was going to have to go to NAIA route once he jumped into the portal. But
I don't know
no.
how these guys get these chances like that, but same reason why Will Levis is getting drafted top pick of the draft, pretty much.
Oh, I love it though. I love Will Levis getting that love. That's more opportunity for trades. I love it. I love it. More opportunity for trades.
He talking about full
More
opportunity.
opportunity for trades. Man,
That
you
is
talk
hilarious.
talk Levis up, talk Richardson up, get all these quarterbacks up in the top 5.
Okay,
All of them.
I see the strategy.
Absolutely. Lucky Lefty Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, CFB Nation, and Conjunctional Irish Breakdown. All of our content. It's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. You already know we spin it different. Joe Rudolph, once again, appears to be in line to be the next offensive line coach at Notre Dame. Formal interview in South Bend today. All reports say that he will have a formal meeting with the players. I'm pretty sure it's a positional thing. So he'll meet with the offensive lineman. And dude, the offensive linemen are pretty mild mannered. You don't have any firecrackers. You don't have like a Jared Patterson that's like the unquestioned leader of that group. Blake Fisher seems pretty quiet. Joe Alt seems pretty mild mannered. Zeke Correll might be the most outspoken
Yeah,
of the crew. Dude, there's no way Joe Rudolph can mess up meeting the players. None.
Not the old lineman. I think you walking into a really good situation when you come to Notre Dame because you get in a group that's giving you all the necessary things to make them successful. You just need to put the key in the ignition. And for an O line group that's primed and prepped like they are, I mean, anybody can, not anybody, but a lot of people can succeed, even off of the first year, not having Heat stand there with what their foundation is and what you can build on top of that.
And I know one thing. I want to talk about the benefit of having him on the staff with Jared Parker. Like his knowledge of three different positions, being a head coach, being an offensive coordinator, and being an O-line coach, that has to help Jared Parker transition smoothly because he's able to give him advice and able to see things from Jared Parker's point of view and then just really transfer it right into the O line to be able to produce whatever Jared Parker wants in that run game. Because if we're looking at the Wisconsin O line and what they were able to do, they're going to be physical. They're going to be that. I think he's. I don't think the level of athlete at Wisconsin or what they recruited is going to be equal to what he recruits at Notre Dame. That's number one. And number two, I think his ability to do a lot of different things. The Wisconsin run game, if you really look at it historically, because it stayed the same, whether it's Run Dame, Terrell Fletcher, um, I'm missing my guy that's up in Indianapolis right now that, that had a monster
Melvin
season.
Gordon,
Not Melvin Gordon. They have Melvin Gordon, the kid that's in Indianapolis right now. The chat, you guys help me out. Um,
oh, Jonathan Taylor.
yes, Jonathan Taylor. No matter who the running back
Jonathan,
was, dude, they ran counters. They pulled tackles. They pulled guards. They pulled centers. They ran duo. They ran inside zone. They ran outside zone. It wasn't just we're lining up and running straight at you. They set you up. They would run something early and they would set up what they wanted to do when they got you into the second half or they got you into deep waters. And then they just bludgeoned you, with those running backs we just named. So we're talking about a diverse style of running, which bodes well because you have three. I can't even say three. Well, the top three running backs on our team are three different types of running backs. That's why it's a really good
yeah.
hire to me because you have a guy that knows how to prepare the offensive line to block for a diverse style of running back, which is very important because you have to know who's behind you. Like blocking for Emmitt Smith is totally different than
Monty
blocking
Ball,
for Barry
Gordon,
Sanders. Yeah,
James.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's where Joe Rudolph, especially in the run game, can probably bring together the synergy between the tight end and the managing of the three running backs. Maybe we won't see we won't see Chris Tyree running inside zone
Hmm.
with two tight ends in the backfield. Maybe we'll see him run the right and proper run tracks outside the tackles that he's meant to do. We won't see Aldrich Estimate trying to catch pitches and get to the edge. Maybe we'll see him fit more right outside in between the tackles or, downhill. I think Rudolph adds an amazing uh, aspect or perspective to the run game and how it can work with the O line and the diverse running backs that we have. And then probably Gino and him probably work on the pass game coordinating in some aspect. But if this is the group project that you're going in, the team that you're doing the group project with going into it with, I feel pretty good. You got Joe Rudolph, our quarterback coach, Gigi, and you got Jared Parker coming together. I think you'll have a nice game plan week to week at least. Now, it may not be as creative as Tommy's, but I think it'll be simple enough for us not to have simple mistakes like false starts or delay of games or people doing the wrong assignments.
And he's walking into, I think he understands. I looked at Virginia Tech and I look at the two tackles I'm inheriting, along with Zeke Correll at center. Yeah, man. Yeah, like I like I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing. It was easy why for him. It was an easy decision for him, in my opinion. I think that's why he put out his
Yeah,
farewell
that's
letter. Yes, like, yo, this is easy.
on. I got the call. And I do think that's interesting that I think he sees the value in what we have, just similar to how Sam Hartman saw the value in what we had with the offensive line. He's like, man, they giving how much time to who doing what? Oh man, I got first round guys that just need a push over the edge. They don't even need much. It's just a slight tap,
Yeah,
and I can put my name on three first rounders. Oh yeah, we can do that.
yeah,
And I think just the prestige of what it can offer. He sees the success of what assistant coaches are getting after they leave Notre Dame. I'm sure Joe Rudolph wants to be a head coach again in the near future. He didn't seen a Lance Taylor. He didn't seen an Elko. He
hmm,
didn't seen a Matt. Before. He didn't. These are one and dones.
yeah.
So or two and dones. You want the bigger and better. So he probably sees the opportunity and wants to take advantage. I would
Lucky
have left
Lefty
VT too.
podcast. Yeah, Lucky Lefty podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, CFB Nation in conjunction with Irish Breakdown. All of our great content. Like we said, we look forward to everything being official sometime later today or maybe even tomorrow for Joe Rudolph becoming the next offensive line coach at Notre Dame. He gets less vote. And I
Oh
think
yeah.
it's election day all over the place. I know it's election day in Chicago for the mayoral race.
Oh goodness.
Nah, you know,
What have you did you go vote?
I don't live in Chicago and I'm grateful I don't because I personally don't like any of the candidates. You know,
This man said I don't like any of
I'm interested in I'm interested in the young brother Brandon Johnson, but I just don't know enough about him,
them.
right? And the mere fact that the Bears are gone, they need to get rid of Lori Lightfoot
Just all together.
just altogether. For that simple reason,
See that
move her
time is
away.
the time.
Man,
Her and Jack Corbett for mayor of Chicago.
Lucky Lefty podcast. When we come back, we'll talk defensive questions going into the spring, and I have somebody. You know, I love popping film on left that I know he's going to love. I
That's
got
right.
one. I got one for him. It's the Lucky Lefty podcast. You already know we spin it different. Left, we're back. You know, we were just talking about election day in Chicago for the mayoral race, and I got D Rock Iris said she probably doesn't even know it is even election day in Chicago. Yeah, you might be right, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. There were high hopes too when she took over. There were high hopes, and man,
High
you
hopes
talking
like
about
Obama.
no, come on now, no, that's a little bit too much. Obama
The
high
funniest
hopes,
is
bro.
the funniest is where they put she had posted her Thanksgiving picture and the food that she had on the table was real bad. It was like she had the cucumber slices next to some bread, next to like a slice of pizza. It was just terrible. The spread was not spreading, if that makes
Man,
sense.
Let's give Left what he loves on his birthday. Good film. And we go out to a
Yeah,
young man. His name is Malachi Williams, Monsignor Bonner, Archbishop, Pentagast Catholic in Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania. Left, man, you're going to love this brother. I can guarantee you that. He is a defensive end, plays tight end on offense, but just the speed he plays with is absolutely incredible. Look at him coming off the edge. Long arms. I think his wingspan is something like 79 inches, if I'm not mistaken.
he
Quick
definitely
first
looked
step.
a big behemoth. Just one of those kids that's like you're stronger than what you should be for a high schooler. It's like, damn, even your handshakes hurt my, just shake my hand regular. One of those type of kids. Um, I just love the intensity. I think if I'm recruiting a defensive player, especially D line, DN, I just want intensity. I just want a guy running through blocks, maybe giving a little bit after the whistle, flying around, not hesitating. Even if you miss a tackle, just go full speed. Like we saw the guy yesterday,
Tyler
look like
Singleton.
look like a lion and a gazelle. That type of intensity. I think that you mix that with a couple guys like this, just bull rushing and just being destructive, especially as a DM, because that's what we want to see. I don't want to see you catching pigs or running all the way down the field to tackle a dude last minute. I want to see you just being super destructive in a 3 yard span. Are you hitting the quarterback? Are you putting him on the ground, putting dudes in the turf? That's what I want to see because all the other stuff is conjecture. We recruit other guys for that. Other guys to pick the football off, dropping the coverage as a rushing back. We got all that. Can we get just a nasty, intense, physical pass rusher? That's what we're looking for. And I think he has a lot of talent for that.
Once again, this kid, he's going to continue to climb in the rankings. He just picked up an offer from, if I'm not mistaken, just picked up an offer from Ohio State recently. So all the big boys, of course, Notre Dame got on him early, and all the big boys are coming later. He's an extremely talented kid out of the city of Philly, which is not an area that Notre Dame has gone to get talent. Schools like Alabama have gotten talent out of the area. Schools like Michigan.
We got Will. We got Will from Philly.
You're right. You're right. You're right. But Notre Dame really hasn't stamped a flag in Philly. So whereas they have a
Uh,
pipeline coming from Philly, not like
Jersey.
St. Louis. Definitely no Jersey. Well, yeah, I guess if you want
We
to
got,
put Jersey and Philly in the same boat,
yeah, we got some guys over there. But the thing is, we recruit all over. So I mean, we got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We like the sampler platter in college football. We just get a little bit of that Canadian maple syrup up there. Got a little sauce from Texas. Ohio strong, of course.
sampler platters are the best, especially for appetizers. I'm
Mhm.
not extremely fond of things like calamari and
Cootery boards.
yeah. You're not a big fan of the charcuterie boards. You don't do the cheese with the grapes
Come on, man.
and
Don't
the
even
and
go
the
to
and the
cheese and
meats and crackers.
cheese, grapes, and salami. Word.
Well, you have to be diverse in the meats that you use. Left, it just can't be all salami.
No, I'm
Like
just
who's
saying.
making up these boards that you look at? Or are you just looking at? I saw
I
your
know
tweet this morning. We need to give you a personal chef for your birthday.
Lil
That would
Wayne
be
doesn't
the
have.
perfect birthday gift.
Yes, that's. Hey, listen. If anything, hook your boy up with a chef. But the whole charcuterie board idea just seems very barbaric to me. It's like you don't put no warm things on your plate. You just whatever's in the cupboard, huh? And then you
Lines
just go
up.
grab grapes and throw it on top. Some Ritz crackers. It's like, come on, I seen Lunchables put together better. You know, But whatever, we see the fanciness. The
Well,
breads be overly tough, unnecessarily hard. Like if I was doing a charcuterie board, I would put the red lobster biscuits with
I'll
some
go ahead and remove the
smoked
film because
Vienna.
he's not getting back to the film. LL. He loves Malachi Williams. That's all you need to know. It's his birthday, so I'm letting him rock
Yeah,
out
oh yeah.
the way he wants to. Go.
You just brought up a gripe though. Like you
It's
can't
your
charcuterie
show.
boards and not
It's your show, left. It's your birthday.
you had
Rock
to
out.
address the charcuterie board.
Go ahead.
Uh,
Go ahead. You have a problem with
charcuterie boards
charcuterie boards.
are not the networking appetizer. I hate seeing it at events. I think they're terrible guest invitation type of things. If I'm coming over your house for the first time, don't give me those for hors d'oeuvres or appetizers because I think you must think I'm not hungry or something or think this is a game. So I do think if you're gonna do it right, I'd rather you do pizza rolls. Pizza rolls, put a cup of goldfish on there. If you really wanted to do it the right way. But these charcuterie boards these days, trash. Trash.
Left. Didn't they start out as kind of like a small thing and then they became much bigger and it became a trend? Why? I don't know. See, I come from a family, though, low key, no, has zero to do with charcuterie. But I grew up watching my dad literally have old school knife with meat with crackers and cheese. This is just on some straight down south stuff.
It was like beef jerky or something.
It was like his own thing. Like he did his own custom.
Oh, his own meats and stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Instead of doing a sandwich, he would just put the meat and cheese on crackers, and then he would just go until he was ready to stop eating.
Interesting.
Right. It wasn't on having a cute board, no grapes, no wine, nothing like that. He was just, and I grew up watching him do this. So now even today, man, I'll go and get me, because dude, the little Keebler Club crackers are
Oh
amazing,
yeah.
bro.
Oh man.
Oh
The club crackers have something in it.
man.
Cause you can eat those just straight up, like
Straight
chips.
up. Yes.
Just eat it.
Yes.
That's why I love them with spaghettis. I love them with lasagna, spaghettis. Those are my things.
They're dangerous. Like I probably need to look at the calories and the sodium and stuff.
Cause they fool you. Cause it'd be like Pringle size, like be 50 of them crackers.
Right. And if you get the small box, it's like 3 sleeves. It's like three sleeves.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, these are a lot. I ain't gonna eat all of them. So you take the whole bag, which is
And you take one sleeve and you say to yourself, okay, I'll eat a few, and you eat the entire sleeve.
Eat the entire sleeve.
The entire sleeve.
Because you're running through them. Especially when you start doing the combo. You get the spaghetti with the cracker. You might eat 2 crackers at once.
Yeah, absolutely. So, man, it is one of those things. Now, this is something else my father did partake. I don't know. You ever heard of this, Lev? Michael Campbell, thank you. Sardines and crackers. That's something as well. That's an older generation thing.
That's some country bumpkins, man.
Straight out, man, sardines straight out the can with hot sauce and crackers.
Well, the Vienna sausages out the can with the crackers.
Same thing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, my grandfather did the Vienna sausage.
Yeah, that was my people.
My grandfather was also the first person I saw eat a sweet potato raw.
There's some naturalists, some naturalists.
Just some straight down south stuff. He would just sit there, eat a sweet potato raw. And he was like, yo, son, it's naturally sweet. Like, you don't need all of the extra cinnamon and stuff we put in the candy yams.
Yeah, they hit you with one of them. No, I need the candy yams. I'm sorry, I need the candy
yams. He said, I need the candy yams.
I need them can of yams. So you come over to this house, don't come with the dirt still on the potatoes. Talking about we just gotta wash them off.
So left, what is one of your biggest questions for the defense going into? We already did the offensive
And the
position.
biggest question, of course, we talked about this earlier, is the run game. Can we go under 100 yards on average? We not even gonna say what we really want is around that 65, 75 number. But if we could just get under 100 per game, man, I think those are the improvements you can mark and say, okay, we got better this year. Top 5 scoring offense and
Mm-hmm.
less than 100 yards rushing a game.
Mm-hmm.
That's a recipe for a championship. All them other stuff and all them other numbers, I'm not hearing it. You produced them too at the end of the year. We might be
You
holding
know,
strings and things.
so that's a joint effort. Like the defensive line has to be at the front,
Or maybe
right?
not even our linebacker play.
That's part of it as well.
Being second level all-star defenders and stuff, you know.
And we have to stop that trend of the backup running backs doing work.
that
That was
play.
the craziest thing I saw this year.
So
We
now,
had the backup running backs putting in work
yeah,
in the run game.
like we shut down the first guy. We
Like,
stopped watching film after the first guy.
right, that's the only guy we watched on film all week. The starting running back, backup comes in. We have no clue what he likes to do, and they go crazy.
Because it's a give and take. I'd rather just give more passing yards than I would rushing yards. Because I bank on us going all the way. Because I don't think there's a standalone dominant quarterback outside of Caleb that we play this year that I'm like, man, we just can't let him throw the football all day.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can stop teams from running the ball all day, then I'll take our chances versus anybody. Except SC. We need to stop them from passing, but whatever.
So for you don't want to focus on the defensive line as much as you want to focus on the linebackers. That's like the number one big question for you going into the spring. These linebackers.
Linebacker play, especially on tackling in open space. If we can
Yeah.
tackle in open space at the second level, the D line, I just think it's just going to be pretty standard this year for us. I don't think we're going to have an all-time sack leader or Chase Young or Khalil.
Wait a minute. What up, Cam?
Cam McDaniel. What up, man?
I heard it was somebody's birthday today, man.
Hey, that's right. That's right.
Happy birthday, bro.
Man, I appreciate that. I need some of them healing hands over here, man. Do your thing through the computer, son.
Oh yeah, you can do that all day long. All day long. I just actually we had our fourth child last week, so I got a fellow Pisces.
Oh my God, yeah, that's right.
Fellow
That's
Pisces
right.
in the yeah, man.
Congrats, man.
Congrats, man.
Congrats, bro.
Yeah, man.
4? Okay, I see
4.
you.
Like, wait a minute. Are you done, Cam?
Cam
I
ain't
don't
done.
know, man. I don't know. Like
The way he talked about it, he ain't done. He said I just popped out the fourth one, so we on schedule.
I mean, you know the Catholic philosophy on it, so they don't mess around. So look at Phillip Rivers, baby.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yo, this is funny. You talk about that. I was just at family dinner on Sunday, and my mom and my dad were telling me that my great grandparents both had 18 kids.
Oh my goodness.
And I was just
Wow.
sitting there. I was sitting there looking at my brother like, who even thinks about having 18 kids? And then my mom and dad dropped the bomb on us. And my mom and dad said our plan was to have 12.
Wow.
And it's 5 of us, but they were like, yeah, we were talking about having 12 before we got married. That was
That's a
our
lot,
plan.
man.
And I'm just sitting there like, times have really changed because there's no way I can even wrap my head around double-digit children in this
No.
day and age. I can't.
Yeah, I think that would. I mean, I'm getting acclimatized to 4 right now, and it's a lot. It's
It
a
is.
lot.
Yeah.
So, having double-digit kids would just be. I feel like you almost got to go Old Testament at that point, and you got to start. you got to start thinking about more of a tribal scenario going on to raise the kids.
You couldn't live like in a neighborhood. You would have to live on a farm or something, having that many kids, just because you got to put them to work. You got to put them to use.
Yeah, you got a extreme inheritance at that point.
Man, what's your favorite Malik story, man? What's your favorite Malik story?
Man, favorite Malik story. I would say my favorite Malik story, probably just like, I'll never forget like the first time this kid like came on campus, and I just immediately like loved his vibe. He was just one of those kids that like knew who he was, which I think like can put off like some people that like feel like they're like established and in their place and they paid their dues type of thing. And Malik was never like that type of guy, which I really like respected that about him, that he just came in and he was like, I'm gonna be the best here. And to me, like that vibe and like that energy was why I think me and Malik always kind of got along, is because that's always been my vibe. That's how I've always seen it, is positional leadership is kind of like shallow, and really like it takes like somebody that knows who they are to really step in and have significant influence in a way that Malik was able to do in an environment that's very traditional, like very conservative, like very and so
very ranking. It's like a lot of rank in there. Like you gotta do your time type of thing. It was a weird feeling.
Malik has been very clear in our conversations that he was not trying to wait when he got to Notre Dame. I was like, man, you was trying to sit behind and learn from guys? He was like, man, I wasn't trying. No, we were talking about his first workout, right? Because we were talking about working out with Matt Bayless. And I was like, yo, did you come in and keep quiet? Like most people tell freshmen, like just keep quiet and learn. And so he was like, no. He was like, I came in loud. Like, I'm not trying to be quiet.
The first day I remember, because it was Amir. Amir is a good dude too. So Amir gassed me up. Talking about, yeah, you the quarterback, man. You see DeVaris, man. Why you not doing the pull-up?
So this is Amir Carlisle.
This is Amir Carlisle. Yeah, he's like, man, you the quarterback, man. You gonna let DeVaris not do them pull-ups? Now we talking. This is winter workouts, like way before the season and shit. And I remember, I'm like, you're right, man. I should tell him you should do those. You shouldn't skip the workouts or whatever.
Oh
so
man,
over there. And this is DeVaris. There ain't no regulars.
Wait, that's a Chi-Town kid now.
Yeah,
that's a Chi-Town kid you're talking about.
He's such a personality. So I'm like, yo, I'm like, what you doing, man? You just gonna not finish? He looked at me. It was like he didn't even say anything.
Yeah, nothing. No feedback. No feedback. That sounds like DeVaris for sure, man.
Yeah,
I had a kick out of that, man. Like he set me up the whole way. He knew DeVaris how he was or whatever. So
yeah, he was in my class, Toot Daddy. If you got a nickname like Toot Daddy, you gotta have serious swag.
Now, on this birthday, I wanted to show you some Chicago love, since you just talked about the Chicago kid, DeVaris Daniels. Okay. So I had to bring a Chicago vibe, to honor you. So I want to bring in my guy, Jared Payton.
Okay. Yeah.
I know you guys spoke out in Super Bowl week.
Yeah.
Chatted it up a little bit, but he wanted to come on and to tell you happy birthday, Left.
I appreciate that, man. Oh, I think he's on mute.
You on mute?
Got the mute crew.
See, that's that Miami education.
You hear me now?
There we go.
Yo, the sure mic wasn't plugged in. Man, Malik, happy birthday, bro.
Man, I appreciate that, brother. Always.
Yo, Yo,
Whoa.
real,
No. You got to lean back and show me that hoodie, bro. Wait a minute.
you already know what it is, dog.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Bro, you
We
know,
are hoodie connoisseurs, and you trying to be
bro, you
slick.
already know.
Oh, look
Okay.
at that.
Okay.
You already know.
Yeah. Okay, I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
I might need one of those shipped to me.
You
And you got the
Try to hold it up.
I mean, I'm just stunting. I'm stunting a little bit, man. I got to. If I'm on Lucky Lefty,
Definitely.
like, dude.
Those are nice.
No, hey, can we talk about how nasty Malik was, y'all, dude? Dude. Like I always think about that because I never played with any left-handed quarterbacks. So it wasn't, you think about traditional righties. Everybody that I was with was a righty, man. So but you see guys that I talk to about how the ball does, and like it's funny that that's your motto. You guys, you spin it differently than everybody else, right? I mean, that's just the way that it is. And man, it's just amazing to think about how tough it is. Like I know, like just being on the outside looking into football now is totally different. The things that you know or how you will go about your business of like now for all the lessons that you learn. But when you're in it, man, you just feel like the pressure is all around you. I can only imagine like me being at Miami. It was a big deal, especially at that time. But a Golden Domer and what it means to play at Notre Dame and the pressure that's there every single week, whether it's home or away, man, that pressure is a little bit different, man. And I commend you for how you went about your business, man. And it's tough. And we're talking about being black quarterback as well, right? I mean, we're starting to see that even more now in the NFL, and it was more evident when we saw at the Super Bowl in that matchup with Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes.
And they both played great.
Yeah, and we're starting to see that we're just seeing the shift of the quarterback and what the quarterback's responsibilities are and how athletic you have to be now, man. It's just there's so many good black quarterbacks for these young black quarterbacks that are coming up in the ranks to be able to look at to pick who they want to. And I just think it's cool, man. You're a part of that fraternity, bro. Like that's when you step back and think about it like that, it's crazy to think about.
That's right, man. I'm just grateful to be left
hand.
Yo,
Awesome.
Who's down here? Who's in the corner, Doc?
That's your boy, Mr. Photogenic himself, Cam McDaniel.
What's up, Cam? What's up, boy?
Jared, how's it going, brother?
Man, I'm telling you, man, I'm super blessed, man. I'm honored, man. This is man, I'm looking at these two up here, Cam, and I'm like, these dudes have really done something with what they said they were going to do. Like most people just say, like, oh yeah, we're gonna start a podcast, and then they do it the first week, 2 weeks, the month, and then they're gone, right?
Yeah.
These two are religious with this, man, and it's the reason why it's successful. And you guys found your niche, and Shaun knows this. Malik, I tell him all the time, I'm proud because you guys you really do this. Yeah, and you know how you really do it? You can tell by the people that are watching the videos. You can tell by the subscribers. You guys are doing this thing where most people are trying to figure it out. You guys have figured out the process, and you keep growing from it. So, man, I'm just trying to be like y'all, man, one day. You know what I'm saying?
Jared, I lived in Tennessee at the time you were playing there. I was a season. My family, we were season ticket holders for the Titans back in the day.
Wow.
And so I remember, like, when I was young, I mean, probably like 10, 11 years old, going up to the hotel, like, the night before the game and stuff. And I would see you, I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's Walter Payton's son. Like, oh my gosh. Like I did my school biography project on your dad, and I have got his rookie card. This dude, man, just legendary scenario, man. So it's an honor to be on the call with you today on Malik's birthday. It's a special day.
You see what happens? Like, the game of football is special, y'all.
It is, man.
Regardless of stats, championships, it's the brotherhood that makes it special. and we're all linked in some way. Like whether you played, you didn't play, what level you played at, it's like we all know somebody through the game of football and what it's brought us and how special the game is. And I look at my dad and his career. Bro, I was on ESPN last week, 1000 here in Chicago. And bro, it turned into like a show of people trying to call in. Every time I'm on radio, it's like a show where people just want to call in and talk about stories about my pops. And I'm like, yo, dog, we got like stuff to talk about. They're like, nah. Some dude called from London, y'all. London. And he was like, hey, I'm a huge, I turned on my first game in the 80s, saw your dad, and I was like, who's this guy that doesn't go down? And I became a fan. I was like, yo, he goes, I went to a thrift store and bought a 34 knockoff jersey. He said I wore it to school every single day, and they suspended me because I wouldn't take it off.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, it's the impact that the game has and the legacy that you leave. No matter where you're at, whatever level it is, we all have a legacy and we're all leaving it in some way. And the fact that the great ones, man, they leave it on a whole nother level. And it's why my dad's talked about it. It's the reason why people remember us. Remember, people will come up to Malik, will come up to you and be like, yo, I remember that game.
Yeah.
I remember that game. And you're like, dude, that's how people come to me. They're like, yo, I was there with Frank Gore, Clint Portis, Willis McGahee.
What a stable, bro.
Dude, like,
holy moly.
I know, Cam. I
gosh.
should have went to the Big Ten, bro. I would have played. These cats is all pro. Dude, hey, hold up.
Y'all were all rocking those clean visors back
all
in the
the
day
visors, bro.
Oh my
visors are clean.
gosh,
bro.
Clean.
I just got chill. Hey, I got chills, dude. We played at Louisiana Tech, I think it was, and none of us had our doctor's prescription for them, so they made us take them all off. Like they try to make us mad. Y'all, it just pissed everybody off. No, we went and we mollywopped these guys, man. Wow. Everybody was scoring. Dude, we try to run the score up just to make it like, all right, y'all want. Dude, Shaun Taylor came back into him and Antrell Rowe came back into the locker room. He's like, okay, we all got to take them off. Yeah, you already know what time it is. I was like, okay,
he's a legend.
Hey, hold up. I had that one of the first generation of them concussion helmets, like awkward face mask joint. So like my visor made me look clean. Without it, I look aki. I was like,
I might go back to the old helmet.
Hold up, I gotta find a picture of this joint just so you can see.
That's like Ezekiel Elliott's helmet without his visor. He's got to have that.
Gotta have the visor. Don't look
right.
If he doesn't have the visor, that's not the same helmet, man. You can't rock it the same.
You just look different.
Dude, look, the podcast.
My joint.
That's what
Jaire
joint, man.
Yes. I'm pretty sure I got that football card somewhere, like 2001 press or something like that.
Yo,
I'm gonna send that to you and get it autographed now.
Absolutely. Hey, real talk, Cam. You and JP, you guys could probably do the best nutritional podcast ever.
Well,
Let's do it.
Cam, I'm getting better, man. I really am. I'm getting better. I went from life and circumstances of like my time and how my job is to eating real late, and I was just eating bad. And so right before we left to go to Super Bowl, a month before the Super Bowl, I was like, yo, I'm cutting out all this bad stuff. I'm going to start eating a little bit more clean. So I found this place by my house called Teriyaki Madness. And bowls of rice, like brown rice, whatever rice you want, broccoli, vegetables, and chicken. And I literally was eating that. I was eating it almost every day. I was buying it for lunch and dinner. And next thing you know, I went from like 230 down to like 220, 218, where like I played at. And I was like, what is going on here? Plus, at nighttime, when I was eating at like around 2, and then I wouldn't be hungry again, but I was not forcing myself to eat. But I was like, man, my body was full by the time I got home, so there was no need for the junk anymore. And so I just changed it up a little bit now. I'm feeling
man.
But hold up though. This is the funny part, y'all. This is the entrepreneur in your boy though.
Okay.
I went one day and I get there and the owner's there. And he's like, the guy working behind the counter is like, man, I ain't seen you in a couple of days. Where were you at? He didn't know who I was. So I was like, I was at the Super Bowl in Arizona. Oh, he was like, oh, you went to the game? And I was like, what? The game? I was like, yeah, I went to the game. So I went to pictures real quick. He goes, hey, where were your seats at? I was like, oh, my seats? I was like, oh, they were right here. And so I hit this video on him. He was like, what? That's you on the field? What? That's you? I was like, yeah, man, my pops is. He was like, yo, I didn't know. The owner standing right there. He's like, oh. He goes, man, I own a bunch of. He goes, I own a bunch of Dunkin' Donuts, Wing Stops, and I bought 5 of these, but this is on my only one. I bought 5 to be able to put in Illinois. I only have one. This is it right here in St. Charles. I was like, that's what's up. I was like, you looking to expand? He was like, yeah. I was like, bro, let's hit the numbers, dude. Like, I want some ownership, bro. So he was like, yo, let's talk. So now I'm trying to find a way to take something that I love and turn it into business and one of my passions. So I was like, bro, that's the next step. Like, don't just like something, man. If you have an opportunity, make those relationships and create what you want to create. Like, what did you guys do? Y'all created something. Now you have ownership. Like, we ain't gonna make nothing in these days working for everybody all the time. You gotta have ownership. That's how you build a brand. That's how you build wealth, and that's what we're here for. I'm trying to build generational wealth. It's not just kids. I'm trying to make more than my pops made. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Yo, facts.
Architect your life, bro.
Yes, sir.
Lefty podcast. So you talked about black quarterbacks. You have to, with Cam being a Titans fan, you have to tell him about the
Steve McNair, baby.
Steve McNair.
That's my boy.
Tell him the Steve McNair first check story. When Steve McNair saw your first game day check. Tell that story. Tell the story, JP.
This how I knew I wasn't doing, I thought I was big dog status, I was in Tennessee. I'll get my game check. It was like, I got them sports out every like 2 weeks. It was like, 6 G's around there, something like that. You know what I mean? So like I was paying a little bit of rent. I ain't have no car payments, no nothing. So I was like, dude, I'm good. So I would go to Best Buy every single like Tuesday when they dropped the DVDs, and I'd walk through. They'd see me come through. They'd be like, JP. I'd be like, I have the little basket. I just be getting DVDs, just buying stuff. Like, what you doing? I'm like, nah, it's all good. Like, let's go. Yeah. One day, I come into the locker room, see my check. I open it up. I'm like, let's go, baby. It's that time. And I walked over to Eric McNair's locker room, man. He had 2 of them. Everybody else had 1. He had 2 lockers.
Yeah, 2 lockers.
2 lockers, OG. Like, had all this stuff in one and then would sit and chill in the other one. Man, I walked over there and I was waiting for him. I'm like, man, where'd Matt go? Like, oh, he in the shower. I'm like, all right, that's what's up. I look over in the one locker, bro. He got a check like hanging out of the thing. I'm like, dang, bro, like, what is that? Yeah, I look down, boy, cool meal on that thing. I was like, man, I'm like, I ain't doing something right, dog.
Oh, 1 game check?
Dude, yeah. Like he got it. He had his spruced out differently than everybody else's, right? So when he came back from the shower, he sees me over there looking at, he caught me, and I'm over there looking, and I look over it, bro. He just had this grin on his face, like,
yeah, that's real money.
That's me.
Touchdown money.
Yo, that's me. But I'll say this, man. Because Cam, you'll like this. This is what the game is all about. When I went over to play NFL Europe, a lot of guys that went over there didn't get a chance to come back and play. There was 3 dudes on my squad that came back that were on active roster. I was one of them. Kirk Kittner was the other one. this cat BJ from he played with San Francisco, came back and we're actually on active roster. We won the World Bowl championship while we were over there. So my whole goal going into the whole thing was like I was getting a lot of pub because of who I was. But then when I went into the meeting before we left, I said, if we all ball, it will help all of us out. Like we grind together and ball together is only going to show we all can do this, and it's going to give us more opportunities. Don't just think it's about me. And next thing you know, I'm over there, and guys were like, dog, like I can't even reach my coach, like my running backs coach, my wide receivers coach. But Jeff Fisher was cool with my head coach. So they were talking about what I was doing. Lo and behold, I was over there balling, didn't know that they were watching and had it on in the locker room on the big screen. So cats would come in and they were watching the games on NFL Network. Well, the offensive line was watching. Mac was watching. So when I went from the regular season on practice squad, also running with the ones and twos because Chris Brown and Travis Henry were always like banged up. So I was doing that, running all scout team, running all special teams for scout team. Like by the end of the season, I was tired. I literally got 6 days to go home after the season, get my stuff, go to Florida for 4 like preseason games, over to Europe, played 12 games over there, came back, and by the time I got back, it was like we had like 4 or 5 days or something like that before we had to go into training camp. So I hit this wall. It was the longest, basically, year of my life. And dude, God was watching over me because there was no injuries. There was dudes that were getting injured over there, falling into the black hole, going to Birmingham where the offices were for medicals, and you didn't see them again. So I was like, yo, I'm super blessed. I get back.
Oh, you didn't see it again.
After the what's it called game, the Packer game, which was the last preseason game, I hurt my ankle. I made a tackle on punt cover, and I scored a touchdown. So I'm like, dog, I'm good, dog. Like I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, these cats went into. They were talking about cutting me and then bringing me back and all this other stuff. Mac and the offensive line went to Jeff Fisher's office on my behalf. I didn't say nothing to him. They went there and said, listen, you can't get rid of this kid, dude. He's working way too hard. He might be the lowest guy on the totem pole, but his energy and what he means, you cannot cut him. And Mac went and did that for me. That's why I'm forever indebted to him, forever, because he spoke up and made sure that I was able to stay around, man. And so when I knew that, that's why I was like, dude, I'm gonna do everything possible to take advantage of this opportunity. And so, man, I'm grateful for him. I'm also grateful. I got to jump off, but this is my last Mac. This is for Cam. It was cold one day outside in Tennessee, and everybody was cold. They already lined up everything outside, had all cones and everything set out, and like everything ready to go outside. We all were going to Mac, like, dude, Mac, please.
Yeah, talk
Don't
to him.
stop the bubble today. Don't stop the bubble, please. You can do it. Mac's like, nah, man.
Yeah, you can do it.
Hey, I'm like, Mac, come on, man. I go outside. I'm out there catching kickoffs. Mac comes out last, bro. They got everything set up, both fields. This dude, Mac, comes out and says, Fish. Points to the bubble like this. Fish was like, all right, get all this stuff into the bubble. This is OG status. Inside of the lunchroom, they had all these Oilers, old small photos, like Earl Campbell, everybody else. Dog, life-size poster in color of Mac throwing a ball like this. Like you walked in and saw it, you were like, that dude is the OG, man. I'm forever thankful for him. And Malik, man, I'm forever grateful for you too, man, because, dude, the dude sitting next to you, that's my brother, bro. So the fact that you two are linked together, you guys are doing and having much success, it makes me feel good, man. So no matter what happens, You family to me because he's family to me. And now Cam, Cam, you family to me too, bro. So
Love it.
anytime you guys need me, I'm always here, man. I appreciate you guys. Happy birthday, bro.
Hey, you see
thank
this,
you,
Left? You see this?
Steve,
I had to get this in.
dude.
Steve Martin, thank you.
Hey,
Jared Payton should have been ND class of 2003, but thanks to that a-hole dance, he put the name out there, Pete. I didn't put the name out there. Pete, it's up to you whether or not you want to tell the story, because most people don't know that you were actually committed to the University of Notre Dame. Most people don't know that.
bro.
That's wild, right? For somebody
Malik, we would have been real fam, dog.
Yeah,
I committed to Notre Dame, bro. They were already on like some coaches like retreat type deal. And bro, I wore my pullover to Notre Dame to school, and everybody's like, oh my goodness, he's going to ND. And letting you know, man, I get a phone call just saying that like something went down, and like
something went down.
Yeah, and I was like, what is going on? It didn't make sense to me. And my pops was sick at the time, dude. My pops was pissed. He was calling everybody that he knew that was a part of Notre Dame, that had links, that was donors. They're like, y'all better fix this. Y'all better fix this, dog. He was screaming at people, dude. So upset. But you know, that's kind of how it goes. I haven't found out the true story yet. So if anybody knows, anybody knows, Zorage told me something, but I mean, he's kind of tapped in. So listen. Could you imagine me with that golden dome, bro? Bro! It would have been perfect, sweet, bro. Dude, come on, man. I would have been close to the crib too. Catholic school boy, like it would have been perfect. Yeah, Shaun, dude. Shaun would, Shaun. Our relationship might be different, fam.
Might be different because we're already like
this.
We probably be crazy.
Yo, bro, you want to go to South Bend this week, dog? You want to get them sideline passes, fam? You know? Yeah, I already know how he be getting down. Yeah. Like, listen, hey, love you guys, man. I gotta hop off, bro.
Hey, man, we appreciate you for joining us, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Always love.
Honor, man.
I'll talk to y'all later.
All right. Once again, thanks, Jared Payton. I had to show you some Chicago love, bro. You guys should get a chance to connect out at the Super Bowl in Arizona when you both were out there. But he was like, yo, let me hop on and say happy birthday to Malik. Love to let you pass. And Cam, the connection you have to him and
Tennessee
and his dad and the biology group, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Yeah, I can assure you he's gonna hit me up after the show, like, make sure you send me Cam's information. Like, I already know. He's gonna be like, man, make sure you send me Cam's information. But people don't know he's Notre Dame through and through. Like that was his dream school. Like he was gonna play soccer, lacrosse, and football. Like he was all state. He was like under
going
16.
for that Ernie Davis kind of.
Yeah, he was USA under 16 soccer team. He was like one of the best in the nation in soccer, right? Because he didn't start playing football until his junior year.
Wow.
And then he blew up. He played quarterback. He played option quarterback.
Just play whatever, yeah.
And then they switched him to running back. So it would have been him and Julius Jones, bro, in that 99 class.
Well, my workout was the hill workout, like my whole life.
Oh, that his dad did?
Yeah. Like finding even at like when I was at ND, we would go to the Michigan State Park dunes.
Oh, those sand dunes. Oh my god.
And I would go run up those dunes, and every time we go out there, I was thinking of Walter Payton, because that was his MO. And it works, bro. Like you go in there, like you learn how to keep your feet running up those things. You start developing some insane balance and strength.
Different kind of muscle twitching.
Yeah.
Different for sure. So, guys, I appreciate you. Just having me on. Malik,
family, bro.
Happy birthday, brother. We got to catch up here soon. Are you still going to Ireland?
Yeah, we should be. Yeah, we got a call later today about it. So
Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Well, I'm looking to get out there too. So
right,
hopefully
bro.
I'll see you out there.
All right, bro.
All right, man. Love you guys.
Yep. That's
See.
Cam McDaniel. I tried to make you feel special today, bro.
Cam, man, hey, you did a great job, man. I feel special already. The day is only just beginning. Get on some of that Onora after the show. You know how I go down.
Oh man, you're gonna sip
Good
on
day.
some Onora. So, number one question going into look, they said they would jump in when they could. We didn't get to our second defensive question going into the spring. Number one is the linebackers. Number two for you, what is it going to be? I think it should be Al Golden left. Some questionable decisions at key points of games. I want to see if he.
That's very true.
Yeah, he complicated things last year.
Iron the shirt. You know, the shirt was a little wrinkled.
Yeah.
Can he iron the shirt? Can he get the crevices out? You know, you had a couple stains on there. We was questioning. He can iron the shirt out. I think it'll just fit better for everybody defensively because I think talent-wise, we're only getting better. Just overall defensive talent, I think we've gotten better. Now we just got to smooth it all out.
Man, that's definitely. I don't think there are many questions in the defensive backfield, but I think you have to question who the starting safeties will be. We assume that Xavier Watts and Ramon Henderson will be the guys. But when you have Thomas Harper, who can play free safety, also play the nickel, man, you have to question whether Clarence Lewis makes the move. With Christian Gray, I can tell you now, Christian Gray has acclimated. Christian Gray came in like you left. Christian Gray came in like I'm being me. I'm not being quiet. Like, what's up? This is me. This is my personality. Absolutely. So I push for him. I think in the 23 class, him and Charles Jackensaw were my choices for first round picks as I project from that class. So I look for him to get on the field early. And Clarence Lewis, in my opinion, would be a great safety. He's long enough, he's big enough, he's fast enough. It would be a great move and add more depth to the back end. But I still have some questions about the safety position going into this spring.
Okay. Makes sense.
So we have linebackers number one. We have Al Golden, number two. Man, talk about some questionable calls at key moments of games. And third, I'm going to say the safeties.
No.
Man,
I agree with that.
Let's get through the super chats today. Thank you, Truman Theodore Dumel. Thank you for the super chat. Happy birthday, Lefty. Enjoy thoughts on Rudolph. What can we expect? Give us a Virginia Tech scouting report. Once again, happy birthday. Be blessed, fam. Well, he gave a full scouting report on Joe Rudolph. You know, he had your relationship with him when you were trying to decide where you would transfer to and how it continued after that. You were pretty thorough in letting the fan base know what to expect from Joe Rudolph.
Great fit.
Yep. Just ND Gal, thank you for the super chat. 3128 in honor of the Music City Bowl game victory over LSU 31-28, the 2014 Music City Bowl MVP. You still have your MVP trophy, bro?
Yeah, I got my grandma's house.
Oh, yeah? You let grandma hold on to it?
Hold on. They were favored by 8.5. God.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
That's a huge margin. What did they think we was trash or something? Good.
Yes, they did. Because you remember that you guys had went on that losing streak at the end of the season.
Yeah, that's right. But so, 8.5 is a little ridiculous. That's okay. For 8.5 for a neutral site?
Yeah. Yeah. Jason Hewlett said, happy birthday, Left. I'm just saying.
Thanks, Jason.
Go Irish. Thank you, Jason. And last but not least, I got Mark 1. Nice show, guys. LL on point. Always. We love to spin it different. That's what we do. Left, man. I say it for others, but I couldn't do this without you, bro.
Man, me neither, man. We doing this together. Strong. Well, we on 400 episodes at least?
It's weird. I don't think people understand how organic the relationship is. Like literally from the first time we spoke on the phone, what you see each and every day was that first phone call.
First phone call.
And
Like
we
we
had
just waiting to do this forever. It feels like.
forever, it was like, yo, man, what's up? You want to do a podcast? Oh, yeah, what's up? And then, dude, and from there we went. And it's crazy. And we were blind and really didn't know what the heck we were doing. And we were just going live, doing shows. We probably shouldn't have gone live to start. But hey, we did. And you know, now we have LL Nation, we have supporters, guys are downloading our podcast. We continue to break records each and every month with our downloads on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And it's because of you guys. And our authentic energy is what you get every day.
Every day.
And we knew coming into this space that it was going to be different. We knew that. And that's why we said we spin it different. We both just happen to be lefties, and the spin off a lefty is different.
It's just different.
But yo,
even the shot looked different.
Yeah, man. So when I tell you the abundant and eternal favor and blessings of God upon you, your family, and your children, and everyone connected to you, bro, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It was divinely orchestrated that we came together and we met the way we did. And I appreciate you immensely for who you are. Absolutely.
The GC birthday wish, man,
bro,
over, man. I don't need nothing else.
you are my Andre 3000.
Real
to this outcast fit that talks Notre Dame football, bro. And I'm gladly big boy. I'm gladly big boy. I'm gladly big boy, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be outside no grocery store playing the clarinet though.
Man, so with that said, man, enjoy your day. 28. Happy birthday. That means we're 2 years away from doing something huge. That's what that means.
Oh, yeah, that's all it is. We just get geared up for that. Geared up for the thing. That's all.
You know what time it is.
Petticoat. Petticoat. Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty historic? Petty Junction.
Petty Junction, pettiest story of the day, brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you drink, make sure that you drink responsibly. Yo, I want to put LeBron James on the petty train so bad, man, but I feel bad for him. You know, Mr. Drama himself, but I'm gonna put Giannis Antetokounmpo on the petty train, man. Like, even though I know it was like scripted and everything,
Giannis got that foreign sarcasm that
and it comes across right. It's like, come on, Giannis, bro,
like,
you're being petty.
Katie is not gonna like that.
No, you're being petty. And I don't know if you saw Michael Cooper, former Los Angeles Laker. He had a response for JJ Redick has been he's pretty much getting pummeled by former NBA players.
See what Dominique Wilkins said?
Yes, I did.
Said the man was an idiot. Said he was
I did. And Michael Cooper told him, if you played in my era, I would lock you down and send you to the bench.
They really go hard on JJ Redick, huh?
Man, dude, JJ. Man, relax.
Just relax.
Just relax, man. Just don't say anything else. Just do your job.
The worst example, you can't say Steph, man.
No, man.
As many people think Steph has been the least likely to be ready to play in the 80s. You done brought up the worst example.
Hey man, it's Michael Campbell. I can't drop the Stevie Wonder song because copyright. They gonna come get us and take our money, and I
They
don't
gonna
want
come
that. They definitely will hit us up immediately after the show. Like,
You know they got them algorithms.
man. So for Left, I'm Shaun Davis. Have a fantastic Tuesday. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget tomorrow, Robert Hainsey, former Notre Dame offensive lineman Robert Hainsey, joins us right here on the Lucky Lefty podcast. Have a great Tuesday, but most of all, make sure that you spin it different.